The princess saw him as just a recruit, until even apex predators yielded. Princess Seelie Varun slammed her clawed fist on the command dais. "Send the human in, now!" The training deck thrummed under her feet. Hollow screens flickered with the obstacle lane schematics. Laser grids, plasma vents, crush blocks, all dialed to non-lethal for her elite cadets. But for this Terran recruit, Elia's Rook, she overrode the settings herself, a public humiliation, proof that allied humans stayed ornamental, no more. Lord Marshal Keth Dravos nodded from her side. His armored bulk shifted. "As you command, Highness, he'll break clean." Seelie's mandibles clicked in anticipation. The court nobles watched from elevated balconies. Whispers rippled through the Vianari elite. Humans joined their alliance as shock troops. Cheap meat for the front. This one, fresh from Terra, wore standard fatigues. No augmentations, no rank, just quiet eyes scanning the lane. Rook stepped forward without a word. He vaulted the entry barrier. The klaxon blared, her override engaged. Safeties offline. Lethal protocols active. Alarms wailed across the station. Seelie leaned into the holofeed. "Watch him crawl." Rook hit the first grid. Red lasers sliced air at Mach speeds. They sheared a training drone in half-mid-hover. Rook dropped flat, rolled under the beam pattern, emerged intact. Sprinted to the plasma vents. Nobles gasped. Dravos's claws tightened on his console. Vents erupted. Superheated gas bloomed orange. Rook didn't dodge. He punched a panel mid-stride. Sparks flew. The vent sequence stuttered, locked open. He plunged through the flame wall, fatigues charred black, skin blistered raw. He didn't slow. Seelie's crest flared. "Impossible, safeties lock out recruits." Dravos barked into his comm. "Techs confirm override codes." Rook cleared the vents. Crush blocks descended next. Tonnage slabs slammed together, rhythm perfect for Vianari timing. Rook timed nothing. He slid under the first, grabbed a protruding hydraulic arm, swung up as slabs met below. Climbed the machinery like lattice. Blocks retracted. He dropped ahead. The lane's midpoint loomed. Pinned cadet zone. Her own Vianari trainee cavern trapped under debris. Simulated collapse. Standard protocol, bypass and finish solo. Proves individual grit. Rook froze. Assessed, then veered off course. Seelie snarled. "He deviates, penalize him." Dravos punched the escalation. "Live rounds authorized." Rook reached cavern, debris pinned the cadet's leg. Shrapnel wounds bled green. Rook gripped a slab, lifted. Muscles corded under charred sleeves. Cavern's eyes widened in the feed. No human should deadlift that mass. Vianari augments strained at half. Rook heaved, slab shifted. Cavern dragged free. Rook slung the cadet over his shoulder. Resumed course. Rounds cracked. Sniper drones acquired. Bolts punched Rook's flank, armor-piercing, blood-welled. He staggered once, adjusted grip, charged the final barrier. Seelie's hearts pounded. "He's carrying dead weight, under fire, abort the lane." Dravos hesitated. "Highness, protocol." "Abort." Too late, Rook hit the finish sensors, crossed with cavern draped limp. Timers flashed, record pace, lethal settings intact. Medbots swarmed, klaxons cut silent. The deck fell quiet. Seelie stormed the extraction bay. Nobles trailed. Dravos flanked her, stun baton humming. Rook sat on a crate. Medgel sprayed his burns. Cavern stirred beside him, leg braced. The human ignored the bots, wiped blood from his side, tore a strip from his fatigues, packed the wound manual. "You overrode safeties," Seelie hissed. Her voice echoed off bulkheads. "Station alarms confirm it. Sabotage." Rook met her gaze, no flinch. "Standard procedure, train hot or not at all." Dravos lunged, slapped the restraint collar around Rook's neck. Seals hissed tight, neural locks engaged. Humans slumped, paralyzed from shoulders down. "Protocol sabotage," Dravos growled. "You'll answer in the cells." Cavern pushed upright. "He saved me, Marshal, pinned under full collapse. I signaled bypass, he extracted." Seelie silenced him with a glare. "Irrelevant. Humans follow Vianari doctrine or they don't train." Rook's eyes stayed open, locked on her. Collar hummed, no protest, just steady breath. Medbots scanned him. Hollow reports scrolled, degree burns, penetrating wounds, fractured ribs, adrenaline levels off charts. Neural dampeners held, barely. Seelie circled him. Crest pulsing dominance. "You think this impresses? Terrans beg for our tech, our lanes, our alliance." Rook's lips twitched, minimal, collar suppressed speech, but his stare drilled. Dravos hauled him up by the collar link, dragged toward brig escort. Nobles parted. Whispers swelled. "He overrode from inside. Lethal run with a load. Look at the vitals, still conscious." Seely waved them off. Exaggerated human durability, nothing more. She followed to the observation cell. Dravos dumped Rook on the slab, collar synced to walls. Full lockdown, interrogator drone deployed, probes extended. Dravos activated it. Confess the hack, codes now. Rook lay still. Eyes tracked the drone, no twitch, probe jabbed, neural spike. Pain receptors max. Rook's jaw clenched, sweat beaded, held. Seely watched the feeds. Brainwave spikes flat. Human threshold ignored Vianari limits. Escalate, she ordered. Drone ramped voltage. Muscles seized. Rook arched once. Settled, eyes unchanged. Dravos frowned. Collars fry at this output. He's enduring. Cavern burst into the bay, uninvited. Highness the lane logs, Seely whirled. Out, he thrust a data slate. Rook didn't hack entry, he patched a runner's override mid-grid. Standard human field mod, safeties bypassed themselves after. Dravos snatched the slate, scanned, crest wilted. Confirmed, no intrusion. He anticipated the lockout. Seely's mandibles ground, anticipated, a recruit in lethal fire. Rook's gaze shifted to her. Through the cell field, message clear, your game, my rules. She killed the drone feed. Double the collar field, isolate him. Dravos complied. Field thickened blue. Rook vanished behind opacity, but the nobles buzzed outside. Feeds leaked. Whispers spread, the human ran death. Saved elite, defied lockdown. Seely retreated to her quarters, slammed the hatch. Holodesk activated. Scanned Terran Alliance docks. Standard procedure, train lethal. Extract casualties, override as needed. Her claws scraped plasteel. One recruit. Appended doctrine. Dravos calmed in. Highness, cadets demand his release. Cavern rallies them. She cut the line, stared at the collar schematic. Human baselines exceeded Vianari specs. No augments required. A soft ping, station-wide alert. Lane simulators rebooted, cadets queued, demanding hot runs. Seely's crest flattened. The human hadn't spoken, hadn't broken, but the court shifted. She punched the marshal's channel. Release him, dawn briefing. Dravos paused. Highness, now or explain to father. Collar disengaged in the cell. Rook sat up, rubbed his neck, stood, walked out unescorted. Seely watched the feed. He nodded to Cavern, entered medbay. No salute, no deference. Nobles bowed as he passed. Her doctrine cracked, first fracture. Rook reached his bunk, dropped gear, collapsed asleep. Burns untreated, deck lights dimmed, silence fell. But in command decks, questions burned. What else did humans call standard? Dravos's claw stabbed the activator. The restraint collar hummed to life around Rook's neck. Blue fields crackled. The human recruit dropped to one knee before the royal dais. Palace nobles hissed approval. Seely's crest flared from her throne. Control restored. Rook's fingers curled around the hinge. Metal groaned. Hinge shattered with a single twist. Collar segments clattered to the deck at her feet. Rook rose, unhurried, eyes locked on hers. Gasps rippled through the court. Seely's tail lashed. Guards, subdue the Terran. 6 palace enforcers charged. Claws extended, shock lances thrust. They dogpiled Rook in a tangle of scales and armor. Rook pivoted, first guard's lance whipped from grip. Spun into second's thigh joint. Third lunged, Rook sidestepped, hooked elbow, flicked blade free. No fists connected, no scales cracked. Weapons piled neat beside the broken collar. 3 disarmed in 4 seconds. Guards scrambled back. Empty clawed, court froze. Dravos barked. Flank him, overwhelm. Seely slammed her scepter. Enough games, release the Vian. Hatch hissed open behind the dais. Vian Apex lunged free, crowned predator of Varun Prime. 8 meters of razor quills, venom barbs, jaws that crushed star steel. Leash snapped. It roared, throne room quaked. Nobles fled to alcoves. Dravos grinned. Doctrine holds, Highness. Beast enforces. Vian charged Rook. Quills deployed, venom sacs pulsed. Rook dropped stance. Palms open, no weapon drawn, beast leaped. Seely gripped thrown arms. This ended now. Rook sidestepped. Grabbed quill cluster midair, twisted. Vian slammed deck. Rook pinned neck ridge. Knee drove barbs flat, beast thrashed. Tail whipped, Rook caught it wrenched. Snap echoed. Vian stilled, yellow eyes widened, crest collapsed. It whined, submitted. Rook released, stepped back. Vian crawled to Seely's dais, curled at her feet, trembling. Silence crushed the chamber. Dravos's mandibles clicked. Impossible, Vian yields to no. Seely rose, voice cut crystal. Silence, Marshal, your doctrine fails. Court feeds buzzed alive. Cadets flooded hololinks from simulators. Cavern's voice boomed. Witness. Human standard breaks crowns. Nobles knelt, not to her, to the pile of weapons, the shattered collar, the cowering apex. Rook stood centered, gear unmarked, breath even, Seely descended steps, claws flexed. She stopped short. Vian's head lifted, growled at her approach. Then dropped again, Dravos lunged forward. Highness, recall the beast, reassert. Rook turned, one step, Marshal froze, claws retracted, Seely signaled guards. Escort the Marshal, quarters, reflection. They dragged Dravos back, he snarled, no resistance, court cleared. Only she remained, facing Rook. Human waited, no bow, no words. Vian's whine filled the void, Seely's comm pinged. Father's channel. Daughter, explain the alert. She cut it, stared at Rook. What is standard procedure? Rook met her gaze, silent, deck lights hummed. Vian's breath rasped. Court echoes faded. Dawn brief ended, Seely waved him out, he walked. Unchallenged, hatch sealed, she sank to throne. Vian pressed flank against dais leg, loyal no more, questions clawed her mind. One recruit, shattered collar, disarmed elites, tamed apex. What chained such force before? Dravos's comm leaked from guard feeds. Cadets rallied outside his quarters, demanding his stripes. She punched Alliance docks. Terran baseline, strength exceeds Vianari norms. Grip calibrated for zero-G breach. Combat protocols, neutralize without fatality. Apex protocols, dominance display, no kill, her crest flattened. Humans called it training, palace alarms trilled, simulators overloaded, cadet queues tripled, all requesting Rook as instructor. Seely stood, Vian rose with her. Followed, she strode corridors, nobles parted, whispers chased, the human rewrites hunts. Medbay doors parted, Cavern saluted, Rook inside, treating burns from prior run, cadets encircled bunk, eyes wide, Cavern turned. Highness, he shares procedures. Rook glanced up. Nodded once, Seely halted. Vian halted, growled low at cadets, they scattered. Rook continued wrapping gauze, ignored the beast. Vian sat, watched him, Seely's claws scraped bulkhead. Marshal's forces stand down, your demonstration suffices. Rook taped end, stood, noted. Cadets murmured, procedures, human grip, human hold, she turned. Vian shadowed Rook now, not her, corridors blurred, father's shuttle inbound, demanding report. Dravos confined, authority stripped, court shifted. Cadets petitioned, integrate Terran drills. Seely reached command deck. Holodesk flared. Scans confirmed, Rook's muscle density tripled Vianari elite. No augments, natural, Vian's collar pinged, slipped free in Rook's grip, never reapplied, she slumped. One human, standard procedure, broke enforcer, broke beast. Broke court, alert flashed, planetary hunts rescheduled. Vian Pack summoned for human trial, her tail coiled, too late, Rook's bunk cam looped, he slept, gear stacked precise. Weapons pile mirrored beside, silence gripped station. Dawn broke full, Seely stared at feeds. Rook rose, cadets waited outside hatch. Vian at his shadow, she punched release, all cells, all holds, power structures cracked wider. Dravos's final comm, Highness, forgive doctrine, deleted. Court feeds captured it all, Galaxy watched, one recruit, rules rewritten. Vian howled distant, called to human, Seely silenced hollow, stood alone, deck hummed empty, questions burned unanswered. Rook entered simdeck, cadets bowed, Vian bowed lower, training began, her throne chilled, silence fell absolute. Princess Seely slashed her claw across the hollow panel. Arena gates exploded inward, the Vian apex surged free, tusks ripped air. Claws gouged stone, its roar shattered noble eardrums, eyes fixed on the human recruits lined before the royal dais. Seely bared fangs. Prove your utility, Terrans. Survive the hunt. Straight line drawn from his feet to Vian's jaws, 1 meter wide, precise, Seely's tail stiffened. Insolence, fall back. Beast hit full stride, 50 meters, 40, dust choked air. Rook stood motionless. Knife hilt quivered in sand, 30 meters. Vian's breath scorched ground, 20. Seely's claws dug into thrown arm, 10. Beast leaped, jaws gaped. Rook's line approached. Vian slammed brakes. Claws carved furrows, halted short. Nostrils flared over blade, snorted once. Head lowered. Eyes averted, backed away, step by grudging step. Seely blinked. Silence gripped arena. Nobles leaned forward. Dravos snarled. Beast malfunctions, I'll correct it. Stunner bolt struck Vian's flank. Beast bellowed, veered wild, lurched toward spectator stands. Nobles screamed, crowd surged, stands buckled, chaos erupted. Vian plowed barriers, tusks impaled railings. Aliens fled in stampede. Seely rose. Dravos. Cease fire. Plowed back across arena. Straight to the line, halted again, lowered head lower. Kneeled, dust settled, Seely's heart's hammered, one knife, one line, beast abated, over pain, over rage, over Dravos's bolts. Rook crouched, extended hand, no weapon, palm up. Vian nudged it. Wind low, Rook scratched jaw ridge, stood, beast rose behind him, shadow once more. Arena stilled, nobles froze mid-flight. Dravos's rifle clicked empty, he stared, Seely signaled guards. Secure the stands. Dravos stepped forward. Highness, the human bewitched it, execute. Vian growled agreement, deep rumble shook stone, Dravos backed step, rifle dropped, nobles whispered. Human marked territory. Standard procedure, predator control. Sheathed it, Vian followed him back to recruits. Cadets parted, bowed heads not to her. Arena cleared, wounded nobles stretchered out. Dravos confined by his own guards, they refused his orders. Seely watched Rook. He inspected Vian's wounds, tapped calm. Medkit. Basic field dress. Knife residue analyzed. Human pheromones, aggressive markers, Vian receptors overloaded. Recognized superior territory. No fight needed, pure hierarchy flip. One blade, Dravos dragged past. Highness, doctrine. Petitions flooded. She followed, throne waited empty. Hunts cancelled. All Vian packs summoned for human calibration. Dravos's shouts faded. Arena echoed hollow, short pause gripped command tent. Seely reviewed feeds. Rook bunked with Vian, beast curled guard, no collar, no chain. Scans pinged. Planetary apex packs inbound. Her claws tapped console, one recruit. Drew line, rewrote predator code, door hissed. Rook entered, Vian filled frame behind. Highness. Handle. Scratched line on deck plate, between him and cell. Dravos lunged barrier, grabbed bars, Vian tensed, held, guards froze, Rook stared through bars. Cross it. Dravos stumbled back, tripped over line, beast loomed, jaws parted, halted, waited Rook's word, Dravos crawled. Highness, mercy. He thrashed, silent now. Vian backed, Rook turned, Seely met his gaze. Boundary doctrine, yours. Claws shattered the grand atrium's crystal dome. Shards rained. Vian packs poured through, 6 beasts the size of assault skiffs, fur matted with outer wall gore. Guards fired plasma lances, bolts scorched pelts. The lead Vian apex, 8 meters of coiled sinew and fangs, barreled onward. It swatted 2 sentries into pillars, bone crunched. Princess Seely Varun spun from the court hollow. Nobles screamed, scattering like chaff. Her personal Vian, the one Rook had bound, tensed at her side. It growled low, Pax answered. Recruit Elia's Rook exploded into motion. He seized her wrist, yanked her down. They tumbled into the nearest drainage trench, a meter-deep runoff carved into the atrium floor. Water sloshed cold against her scales. Rook landed atop her, body shielding. His rifle barked twice. Precise bursts clipped the lead apex's foreleg tendons. It stumbled, roaring. Seely shoved at his chest. Release! Quiet! Rook's voice cut flat. He rolled off, scanned the trench. Hunt rigging spilled from his tack pouch. Monofilament cords, collapsible grapples, chemlures from Terran field kits. Standard issue. He snapped links together. Fingers blurred. A net frame assembled in seconds, weighted with scavenged deck plating ripped from the trench lip. Above, the apex recovered. It pounced guards. Jaws clamped a noble's midsection. Blood sprayed. Civilians fled toward the palace core, straight into the pack's path. Seely's Vian snarled, straining its invisible boundary, useless against kin. Rook vaulted the trench edge. Dragged the frame behind a toppled pillar. Tied off cords to stress beams overhead. Baited the center with a crushed chem-pheromone vial, synthetic Vian musk amplified. He slapped a pulse beacon to the frame's core. Low-frequency thrum, inaudible to her ears. The pack's head snapped toward it. Seely climbed out. Watched. The lead apex locked on the lure, charged. Rook pulled the release cord, one decisive yank. The frame dropped. Monofilament sliced air. Net enveloped the beast mid-leap. Grapples bit into its hide. It thrashed. The pulse beacon hijacked its pack hierarchy signal, rewrote the threat vector. Subordinates wheeled, followed their alpha into the trap. Beams groaned. Net held. All 6 Vians piled in, clawing at the mesh. Rook cinched secondary lines. Redirected the entire mass toward the outer breach. Away from civilians, toward the wilds. The frame slid across polished stone, beasts contained. Howls turned frantic. Guards rallied, stared. Nobles halted their flight. Seely's breath caught. One pull, packs neutralized. No fleet, no siege engines. Hunt scraps. Rook dropped back into the trench, gestured her down. Clear, she nodded, transmitted emergency command from her wristcom. Lord Marshal Dravos, report, secure the breach. Static hissed, then his voice edged steel. Highness. Palace locked, security purge active. You are compromised by the human, stand down. Her crest flared. Override Dravos? Denied, martial control asserted. Human taint confirmed. Guards converge on her position. Footsteps pounded corridors, her Vian growled. Rook checked his rifle, slid a fresh mag home. Seely's mind raced. Dravos, the whispers in his cell. He triggered the purge during the breach. Used the Vians as cover, locked bulkheads, isolated her court. Throne room sealed to him alone. Loyal guards burst from side passages, rifles trained on Rook. Highness, step away from the Terran. Rook didn't flinch, stepped forward, placed himself between her and the muzzles. Marshal's orders, the lead guard barked. Human detain, Seely raised a hand. Stand down. A bulkhead slammed shut behind the guards. Purge protocol. Dravos's voice boomed from speakers. Princess Seely Varun, you consort with primitives who rewrite our predators. Compromised, throne secured, yield or perish with your pet. Her Vian tensed. Tested its boundary, held, Rook glanced at her. Your call, she keyed the comm. Dravos, you bet on doctrine, lost to a line, now this, open the paths. Laughter crackled. One recruit, hunt tricks, I command legions, purge eliminates threats, including you. Alarms wailed. Gas vents hissed. Neutralizer fog rolled in antibio agent keyed to her physiology. Guards choked first, dropped, Seely coughed, scales burned. Rook yanked his rebreather mask, snapped a spare filter onto her neck seal. Standard procedure, fit perfect. Air cleared for her. He shouldered his rifle, grabbed a guard's plasma lance, hacked the nearest bulkhead panel, exposed wiring, spliced hunt rigging cords into the purge grid, pulse beacon synced again. Low thrum, fog reversed, vents sucked it back, bulkheads shuddered, unlocked. Impossible, Dravos snarled over comm. How? Rook ignored him, dragged Seely toward the throne wing, her Vian shadowed. The trapped pack outside thrashed, sliding further from the palace. Civilians poured past, safe. They hit the throne antechamber, more guards. Dravos's loyalists, rifles up. Halt! Rook tossed a Chemlure grenade, burst. Synthetic musk flooded. The Vian boundary projected from his boot knife scratch, amplified now through the grid hack. Invisible wall dropped between them and the guards. Beasts inside the palace stirred. Echoed the signal, her Vian roared. Packs outside answered, not as threat, as redirect. Dravos's voice pitched. What sorcery guards fire? Plasma scorched the wall, held. Seely watched Rook. No explanation, just splice, pull, control. He advanced, knife out. Scratched a new line across the antechamber deck, extended the boundary. Guards backed. Weapons dropped. Throne doors hissed open. Dravos stood there, scepter in grip, flanked by elite enforcers. His eyes widened at the Vian behind Rook. At the fog clearing, at the packs now herded away. You, Dravos spat. Primitive, this ends. Rook stepped over his line. Dravos lunged, hit the wall, bounced back. Enforcers froze. Seely transmitted court-wide. Witness! Nobles' feeds linked. Hollow flared. Saw the marshal repelled. Saw the packs contained. Saw the purge reversed. Dravos whirled on her. Highness, he's rewritten the grid, the beasts, the vents. Rook strode forward, knife twirled. Scratched a circle around Dravos's feet. Tight, personal boundary. The marshal tested it, jerked back. Enforcers raised weapons. Vian packs howled outside, now circling the palace perimeter. Guarding, redirected, Dravos paled, dropped the scepter. Mercy, Highness, I yield. Silence stretched. One beat, Seely stepped to Rook's side. Confine him, permanent. Guards complied, dragged the marshal. He thrashed once, went limp. Rook sheathed the knife, turned to the throne, empty. Nobles entered, knelt, all in their postures. Seely met his gaze, no words. The Vians outside fell quiet, packs dispersed. Redirect complete, court hollow dimmed, palace secure. Princess Seely Varun seized Elias Rook's wrist, yanked him through the palace corridors, her claws pricked his skin. Command gallery doors loomed ahead. She slammed her palm on the access plate. Panels ground open. Red light bathed the chamber. Every console flickered under Lord Marshal Dravos's sigil. Overrides locked out her codes. Seely snarled, strode to the central dais, slapped commands into the primary terminal. Denial flashed. Access revoked. Rook scanned the room. Officers hunched at stations. Their eyes darted. Loyalist enforcers lined the walls, rifles gripped tight. Dravos's coup spread fast. From his confinement cell, he'd triggered the palace net. Slaved it all. Seely whirled on a trembling tech. Revert it, now. The tech tapped frantically. Screen spat errors. Highness, he's firewalled the core. Fleet relays next. Rook moved, silent, stepped past her. Eyes locked on the fleet relay port, wall-mounted, armored. Human standard jack hid beneath alien flanges. He pulled his multi-tool from his belt, extended the hardline cable. Thin, unassuming, Seely spun. "Recruit, stand down!" He ignored her, knelt, pried the panel, exposed the port, plugged in. Connection hummed, his wrist gauntlet lit, neural links synced. Station systems bloomed in his overlay. Layers of alien code, nested locks, Dravos's overrides pulsed like veins. One command waited, human-coded, standard procedure. Universal fleet lockdown, Terran Black protocol, never shared, ignored by allies, assumed obsolete. Rook typed it, single line, executed. Station shuddered. Weapons arrays wind down, galaxy-wide fleet relay froze. Every railgun missile pod, plasma vent on the orbital station powered off. Cold, consoles blanked. Red sigils winked out. Dravos's overrides shattered. Seely froze, mouth parted, officers gaped. Enforcers shifted, rifles heavy in dead hands, a hollow flickered to life. Central dais, Dravos's face from his cell. Fury twisted his features. "Highness, your pet primitive delays nothing, execute her. Purge protocols engage." Loyalists raised weapons, triggers pulled. Nothing, bolts stuck. Energy coils silent, they racked slides, emptied power cells, barrels stayed dark. One enforcer lunged at Seely. Knife drawn, Rook's hand snapped out, caught the wrist, twisted. Bone cracked, knife clattered. Enforcer dropped, Dravos's hollow snarled. "Idiots, melee, take her head." More charged, Rook sidestepped, elbow to jaw, knee to groin. Third grabbed his shoulder, Rook pivoted, slammed forehead into nose. Blood sprayed, Seely backed against a console, eyes wide on Rook. Not fear, calculation. Rook shoved the last loyalist down, turned to his gauntlet. Overlay showed purge locks sealing. Station sectors venting atmo. Dravos's endgame, wipe the board, claim the void. He keyed broadcast, station-wide. Human override layered in. Evac route active. Sector 7 to 12 lifts. Doors opening, move now. Alarms blared, but purge klaxons silenced. Every doorway hissed. Locks broke, bulkheads retracted against code. Paths cleared, crew bolted. Technicians fled to lifts. Loyalists hesitated. Dravos's hollow glitched. What impossible? The net, Rook unplugged, stood, faced the hollow, knife out, twirled once. Seely exhaled, stepped forward, claws retracted. "The station, yours." Holodravuz pounded a fist, off-screen. "Highness, betrayer, the fleet." Rook tapped his gauntlet, fleet relay pinged. External comms locked, no signals out. Station isolated. Secure, silence fell, officers knelt. Enforcers dropped blades, Dealey's gaze locked on Rook's knife, then his face. All crept in. No words, Dravos's hollow wavered, mouth moved, no sound, feed cut. Rook sheathed the blade. Turned to the viewport. Station stabilized. Crew streamed to safety. VN-Pac's distant howls echoed through hull sensors. Contained, Seely touched his arm, light. "Recruit Elia's Rook, explain the code." He met her eyes, shook head once. "Standard procedure, no need," she nodded. Slow pulled back. Nobles entered via open doors, bowed low, whispers spread. Human, station taker, one command, Rook crossed arms, watched them. Power shifted, vertical, total, a brief pause hung. Air recyclers hummed. No alarms, no overrides, station breath steady. Then escalation snapped back. Console chirped. Incoming query, fleet command, alien admirals demanding link. Seely straightened. "They witnessed, partial feed leaked before lockdown." Rook nodded, plugged back in. Overlay expanded, fleet net visible, dozens of hulls. Weapons cold, waiting his next line. Dravos's cell cam fed through. Marshal paced. Guards outside, powerless. One officer approached, knelt. "Human, mercy for the Lord Marshal." Rook glanced, typed. Cell doors sealed tighter. Life support nominal. Contained. Officer paled. Backed away. Seely watched Rook's hands. Fingers flew. New protocols layered. Human firewalls. Self-repairing. Alien codes sandboxed. Loyalist in corner stirred. Grabbed a sidearm from floor. Powered? No. Rook's first command held. Dead metal. Enforcer hurled it. Rook ducked. Seely lashed out. Claw strike. Enforcer slumped. Tension coiled. More eyes on Rook. Awe deepened. Princess deferred. He pulled the plug. Gauntlet dimmed. "Secure," Seely transmitted. Court feeds relinked. Nobles across station saw. Human at the relay. Dravos broken. Fleet frozen. Queries flooded. Alien lords. "What sorcery?" Rook ignored, stepped to viewport, stars steady. Station orbited pristine. Low hum, one beat of quiet. Crew settled in evac zones. No purge, no deaths. Seely leaned close, voice low. "You rewrote the station." In moments, He shrugged. Standard, her frills flushed. Respect. Submission edged in. Dravos's final hollow fragment looped. Silent plea. Rook keyed delete. Gone. Consoles rebooted. Under new master code. Human root. Nobles prostrated. Terran Lord. Seelie knelt beside them. Eyes up, waiting. Rook turned away. Knife hand loose. Station his. Silence. Princess Seelie Varun shoved open the corridor bulkhead. Empty decks stretched ahead, lit by stuttering emergency strips. Rook matched her stride. His boots echoed soul on polished alloy. Station speakers hissed dead air. Cycles of static looped. Distant thuds vibrated the deck deep, irregular booms from below decks. Something massive shifted in the holds. Seelie's frills twitched. She glanced back. Rook's face stayed blank. Knife hand relaxed at his side. They pressed on. No guards challenged. No loyalists stirred. A hollow panel flickered alive mid-corridor. Lord Marshal Keth Dravos filled the projection. His armored form loomed in the throne chamber feed. Heir apparent, your pet human rewrote the relays. Impressive, his voice grated through speakers. But the throne endures. Kilgrid armed. Enter if you dare. Watch your court burn from afar. The hollow cut. Red claxons pulsed. Throne chamber sealed. Across linked feeds, Seelie's nobles flinched in their evac zones. Dravos's override triggered station-wide vents. Tox gas primed in lower decks. Her court, newly bent to Rook, now choked in sealed bays. Seelie halted, claws flexed. He traps them, forces me to kneel or lose all. Rook pulled his gauntlet tab, scanned the schematic. Kilgrid outlined in hollow, throne antechamber laced with plasma sweeps. Cyclical burns, 5-second gaps. Vian Apex chained inside as final enforcer. Dravos's doctrine unbreakable. Forward, Rook said. They closed on the threshold. Plasma arcs ignited. Blue-white blades slashed air inches from deck. Pattern locked, left to right, top down, repeat. Heat shimmered. Alloy pitted where stray arcs kissed walls. Rook stopped dead at the line, motionless. Seelie froze beside him. First sweep roared past his chest, fabric charred at the edge. No flinch. Second arc bisected the space over his head. Hairline singe on his scalp. He breathed steady. Eyes tracked the rhythm. Seelie's scales paled. Human, it will vaporize. Gap. Rook's hand snapped up. Signal given, she lunged. Claws punched the throne doors. Seals popped. Panels ground wide. Seelie stepped through as bait. Plasma grid reactivated behind her. Locked Rook out. Inside, throne chamber gleamed under vaulted crystal. Lord Marshal Dravos stood at the dais base. Power armor hummed. Beside him, Vian Apex strained its chains. The beast dwarfed a shuttle, coiled muscle under iridescent scales, jaws like hydraulic shears, eyes black voids. Crowned predator of Varun Prime. Political blade, unleashed on rivals tamed by Seelie's bloodline pheromones, Dravos laughed. Bait accepted, Princess. Vian hungers, your human cowers outside. Seelie circled wide, frills flared dominance. Vian's nostrils flared, sniffed her scent. Chains rattled. It lunged, then halted. Head swung, scented beyond the grid. Rook waited. Third cycle peaked. Gap hit. He ghosted through. Plasma kissed his heel. Deck scorched black. Dravos whirled. Impossible, the grid, Vian roared. Thunder shook crystals. Chains snapped taut. The apex locked on Rook. Pupils dilated, not hunger, recognition. Seelie edged toward the throne controls. Release the gas vents, Marshal, or kneel. Dravos ignored her, powered his lance. Beast, strike! Vian ignored the command, padded forward, chains dragged. It circled Rook. Low rumble built in its chest, not threat. Submission growl, apex to alpha. Rook stood firm, no draw, no stance. Eyes met the voids, human gaze unblinking. Vian's head lowered, neck bared, throat scales parted, vulnerable pulse exposed. Dravos staggered. What sorcery? It yields to a recruit. Seelie froze mid-step. Frills collapsed. She stared. Human intimidation rewrote predator hierarchy. Vian the Unbreakable saw Rook as tier above. Quiet fell. Plasma grid hummed idle outside. Distant thuds silenced. Station held breath. Deck vents hissed open. Tox gas flooded lower bays. Seelie's court gasped through feeds. Nobles clawed at seals. Rook turned from Vian, stepped to the dais console. Gauntlet synced. One tap. Vian chains unlocked. Beast padded to his flank. Guard position. Dravos raised his lance. Traitor beast, I command. Rook's knife hand blurred. Wrist locked the lance barrel, twisted. Alloy crumpled. Dravos dropped to knees. Armor servos whined protest. Seelie reached the throne override. Claws danced. Gas vents slammed shut. Court bays repressurized. Nobles coughed, lived, but eyes stayed on Rook. Vian's rumble deepened approval. Apex shadowed the human. Dravos wrenched free. Armor sparked. He keyed his chest beacon. Fleet, purge the station. Air and human die. No response. Feeds showed Varun dreadnoughts. Engines cold. Bridge crews knelt before hollow relays. Rook's root code held. New protocols layered. Beast protocols. Human as Apex. The corridor crossing replayed in Seely's mind. Those thuds, Vian handlers purged. Beasts relocated to human zones. Station ecosystems shifted. Predators realigned. Rook released Dravos's wrist. Marshal slumped. Lance barrel ruined in his grip. Secure, Rook said. Vian's jaws parted. Hot breath washed Rook's shoulder. No bite. Escort. Seely knelt at throne base. Frills flat. Terran, command. Dravos bowed head. Armor powered down. Lord Rook. Quiet stretched. Plasma grid deactivated. Doors sealed soft. Feeds across the station captured it. Human flanked by Apex. Nobles prostrated deeper. Fleet captains transmitted fealty. One beat of stillness. Rook surveyed the chamber. Vian waited. Seely waited. Dravos silent. Deck lights steadied. Full power. No more thuds. Seely rose slow. Voice whisper. The Vian, it chose you. Galaxy will know. Rook shrugged. Standard procedure. Predators sorted themselves. Dravos's gauntlet chimed. Final override denied. Human root absolute. She stepped closer. Hand brushed his arm. Submission complete. Vian huffed. Settled at Rook's feet. Silence held the throne. Plasma arcs erupted across the throne chamber's kill grid, sealing every exit in a web of lethal blue fire. Lord Marshal Keth Dravos straightened on the throne, his armored fist clenched around the override sigil. Human ends here. Court witnesses. Recruit Elia's Rook stood at chamber center, Vian Apex's shadow engulfing him. The beast's scales rasped. Its head lowered, nostrils flaring over Rook's shoulder. Not attack, recognition. Dravos barked a laugh. Beast broken, grid fries you both. Rook's boots scraped the deck. He stepped forward, grid arcs lashed out. Plasma licked his armor, sparks danced. No breach. Human plating drank the energy, recyclers humming silent. Court nobles gasped, frills quivering. Princess Seely Varun froze at throne base, eyes wide on the feeds. Rook crossed the grid line. Arcs bent around him, intensity spiking to overload. His gauntlet glowed cherry red. He punched the power spine conduit exposed in the wall panel. Ceramidal sheared under monomolecular edge. One cut. Grid died. Lights flickered green. Silence crushed the chamber. Dravos surged up, lance reforming in grip. Impossible. Shields hold 10 megajoules. Rook charged, 3 strides. Dravos swung. Rook caught the lance mid-arc, servos whining. Human grip twisted. Lance shattered at molecular bonds. Shards pinged off walls. Dravos backpedaled. Throne edge caught his heel. Rook's hand clamped his gorget, lifted. Dravos dangled, 400 kilos light as ration pack. Court inhaled sharp. Nobles edged back, claws scraping. Rook dragged him down. Slammed Dravos face first onto throne dais. Pinned the marshal's spine under the fallen command sigil. Sigil's emitters pinned active, broadcasting Dravos's own override codes as defeat glyph. Locked. Dravos thrashed. Armor locked open from root protocols. Release. I command security. Not anymore. Rook's knee ground the sigil deeper. Ceramidal groaned. Seely's claws tapped her throne console. Royal broadcast primed. Feeds split. Chamber live overlaid with Dravos's purge order logs. Time-stamped. Irrefutable. Every noble, every fleet. Witness. Broadcast fired. Station-wide. Fleet-wide. Varun Empire relay nets lit. Hollow screens bloomed. Bridge crews dropped to knees. Dreadnought captains keyed fealty pings. Outer rim nobles prostrated in their halls, frills collapsed. One noble in chamber highbox sneered. Proof forged, human trick. Rook's head snapped up, locked eyes, noble paled. Vian Apex lumbered forward, doors buckled under its bulk, no grid stopped it. Claws gouged deck plates, it circled Rook once. Massive head dipped. Jaws parted wide, revealing fangs like lances. Breath steamed Rook's visor, not threat. Submission posture, Apex knelt. Flanks pressed to Rook's leg, tail coiled protective. Chamber nobles hit floors, full prostrate, no sound. Dravos twisted under sigil. Beast, rejects me. Seely triggered final relay. Purge order confirmed. Lord Marshal Keth Dravos commanded station kill. Human intervention saved air. Protocols rewrite. Human Apex. Feeds captured it all. Vian's choice looped empire-wide. Galaxy nets buzzed. Terran overrides crown predator. Rook released pressure. Stood. Surveyed, Nobles stayed down. Seely knelt deeper, hand extended, palm up. Dravos rolled slow, sigil dimmed on his back. Root absolute, I yield. Control locked, Seely's voice broke quiet. Lord Rook, command accepted. Vian huffed once, settled, silence held.